Have you ever been gripped by the fear of your own existence, the dread of life's inherent meaninglessness? This fear, my friends, is what we refer to as existential fear. It's the spine-chilling sensation that creeps in when we ponder about our purpose, our mortality, and the vastness of the universe. It's the profound panic that ensues when we realize that our existence, in the grand scheme of things, may be nothing more than a fleeting moment. Existential fear is not an anomaly, rather it's an integral part of the human experience. It's a universal phenomenon that transcends boundaries, cultures, and generations. It can be a terrifying ordeal, yet it's this fear that often leads us to profound realizations and life-altering transformations. So why is it important to discuss existential fear? Because acknowledging it is the first step towards understanding ourselves better. As we journey into the depths of existential fear, let's begin by understanding its psychological aspects. Existential fear stems from a deep awareness of our mortality. This fear, as profound and overwhelming as it may seem, is deeply rooted in our human psychology. It's an inherent part of our consciousness, a stark reminder of the impermanence of life. It's the chilling realization that our existence, everything we know and love, is temporary. This fear is often triggered when we confront our mortality head-on. It could be a near-death experience, the loss of a loved one, or even a quiet moment of introspection on a sleepless night. Suddenly, the reality of our finite life becomes strikingly clear. We realize that we are not invincible, and that death is an inevitable part of life. Such realizations can stir up a whirlwind of emotions. Anxiety, dread, and despair can easily take hold as we grapple with the reality of our existence. We may feel like a tiny, insignificant speck in the vast expanse of the universe, leading to a sense of existential dread. However, it's not all doom and gloom. Existential fear can also serve as a powerful catalyst for change. It can inspire us to question the purpose and meaning of our lives, to seek out what truly matters to us. It can motivate us to live more authentically, to embrace our passions and desires, and to make the most out of the time we have. It can push us to create more meaningful and fulfilling lives for ourselves. In essence, existential fear is a complex psychological phenomenon. It's a fear that can lead to profound feelings of despair, but also to profound insights about life. It's a fear that can make us feel utterly alone and insignificant, but also deeply connected to the world around us. It's a fear that reminds us of our mortality, but also of our potential for growth and transformation. Now that we have a basic understanding of the psychological aspects of existential fear, let's delve into its causes. The causes of existential fear are as complex and varied as human beings themselves. This fear is not a random occurrence, rather it's often triggered by certain life events or circumstances that compel us to confront the realities of existence. One of the primary causes of existential fear is life-changing events. These events can range from a major career shift to a drastic change in personal relationships, or even a move to a new city or country. Any significant disruption in our routine can force us to question our place in the world and confront the inherent uncertainty of life. Personal loss is another common trigger. Losing someone we love, whether it's through death or the end of a relationship, can shatter our sense of normality. We are reminded of the transient nature of existence, how everything we hold dear can be taken away in an instant. This realization can lead to a profound sense of fear and apprehension about our own mortality. Speaking of mortality, the simple realization of our inevitable death can also lead to existential fear. As humans, we are one of the few species with a conscious awareness of our own mortality. This awareness can be both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it allows us to appreciate the finite nature of life, making every moment precious. On the other hand, it can lead to a deep-seated fear and anxiety about the end of our existence. Then there are existential questions that arise from introspection and self-analysis. Who am I? Why am I here? What's the purpose of my existence? These questions can be deeply unsettling, especially when we struggle to find satisfactory answers. They can lead us down a path of existential fear, where everything seems meaningless and futile. In essence, existential fear is rooted in the human condition itself. It's a byproduct of our consciousness, our ability to question, to ponder, and to seek meaning in a seemingly chaotic world. Understanding these causes allows us to better manage and navigate through our existential fears. By acknowledging these triggers, we can start to confront our fears, engage with them, and ultimately find ways to live with them. While existential fear can be a source of profound distress, it can also be a catalyst for personal growth. Let's delve into the effects of existential fear. On the surface, it can lead to feelings of anxiety and depression. It can cause sleepless nights, a decrease in appetite, and an overall sense of unease. Existential fear can often feel like a heavy burden, a shadow that looms over our everyday life, making even the most mundane tasks feel overwhelming. But here's the silver lining: existential fear can also be a powerful motivator for personal growth. That's right, the very thing that causes distress can also lead to a deeper appreciation for life. When we face our existential fears, we are forced to confront the very essence of our existence. This confrontation can lead to a heightened sense of self-awareness, an increased understanding of our priorities, and a newfound appreciation for the beauty of life in all its uncertainty. So how can we manage existential fear? Well, there are several strategies that can help. Firstly, mindfulness. This practice encourages us to live in the present moment, to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. By focusing on the here and now, we can learn to accept our existential fears instead of being consumed by them. Secondly, acceptance. Accepting our existential fears does not mean surrendering to them. Instead, it means acknowledging them as a part of our human experience. It's about understanding that these fears are a natural response to the uncertainty of existence. Lastly, don't be afraid to seek professional help. Therapists and psychologists are trained to help individuals navigate these complex emotions. Cognitive behavioral therapy, for instance, can provide tools to manage anxiety and depression associated with existential fear. As we navigate the complexities of life, remember that existential fear, though daunting, can be a profound source of personal insight and growth. Embrace this fear, learn from it, and let it guide you towards a deeper understanding of your existence. In the face of life's inherent uncertainty, existential fear is a natural response. We've journeyed through the labyrinth of the human psyche, exploring the origins, impacts, and management of this deeply rooted fear. We've seen how it emerges from our awareness of our mortality, our freedom, and the absence of inherent meaning in the universe. We've examined how it can lead to anxiety, depression, and feelings of isolation. But we've also discovered that it's not all doom and gloom. Existential fear can be a catalyst for profound personal growth. It can push us to seek meaning, to create purpose, and to connect more deeply with others. By understanding and acknowledging it, we can learn to navigate life's uncertainties with a newfound resilience. We can learn to embrace the existential rather than running from it. So the next time you find yourself gripped by existential fear, remember, it's a part of the human experience, and it can be a catalyst for profound personal growth. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of existential fear.